Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here to talk about the Microsoft Surface Duo, which is just about to come out, and also the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2, because I'm sure there's some people sitting at home right now and they see this brand new folding phone from Microsoft and they see this brand new latest iteration folding device from Samsung and they think, which one of these should I get? I mean, what's the difference? What makes one of these more special than the other that could suit my needs a little bit better? Now, of course, these phones are not out yet, but the reason I'm making this video is because they're crazy expensive and you probably want to be informed when it comes to the decision process as to which one might be right for you as you get ready to make a purchase. So before we get into all this, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, I appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Now let's talk about these folding phones. First things first, I actually happen to be interested in both of these devices. I like folding phones, I like modern technology, I like all the cool things. I currently have the regular Samsung Galaxy Fold, the first generation. I have the Z Flip 5G. I'm kind of into this whole folding display thing. Well, one key difference that we need to talk about real quick, and we'll kind of look at the Surface Duo before we get into the Z Fold 2. The Surface Duo is a folding phone, but it is not a foldable display. What's the difference? A folding phone opens and closes, but the screen itself is not folding. So enter stage right, we have the LG Velvet. Very, very similar concept to what we get with the Microsoft Surface Duo. You can see two distinct screens here, but there's a nice gulf in the middle. There is a hinge. It's two screens that open and close. Whereas with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold, you can see this is one screen here. Sorry, the Z Fold 2. This is the Z Flip. It has a folding display. It's a foldable. One screen to rule them all in a darkness, bind them, all that good stuff. Har, har, har. So it opens and closes. You get the crease in the middle of the screen. It's a little bit more delicate display. So that's the difference between a folding phone and a foldable. If you want to argue over those things, whatever. So just explaining the difference. When it comes to the Surface Duo, you get the two screens that open and close with the hinge. On the outside though, it looks just like any other Surface device. There's no camera on the outside. There's only a camera on the inside, and with the Surface Duo, the same with the Velvet, you have to flip the screen all the way around and you can use it in one-handed mode and you can do your selfies and all that stuff. That right there kind of tells you that the Surface Duo is very business oriented. I like to think of it more as a mobile device than I do a smartphone. Here's why. It's very much geared towards productivity, towards enterprise, towards professional sector. It's not really a consumer phone that you're like, hey, let me go ahead and play on Snapchat and get on Facebook and do all these other things. Of course, it's built on Android with kind of a Microsoft Surface overlay where it kind of looks and feels like Windows and Android at the same time. And it also has Surface Pen support, so that's really cool too. It's $1,399 to get in the door with 128 gigabytes of storage, 6 gigabytes of RAM, or you can pay an extra $100, $14.99, and get 256 gigabytes of storage, but you're still getting 6 gigabytes of RAM. I wish I had more memory. I don't really understand why it only has 6 gigs if you're going to be paying that much money for it, but whatever. I mean, 6 is perfectly fine for most things. This LG Velvet has 6 gigabytes of RAM. The Pixel 4 and 4 XL series phones have 6 gigabytes of RAM. A lot of phones get by on it just fine. So I don't think it's the end of the world. But when you're talking about a $1,400 phone, I kind of expect a little bit better. But here's the thing. The Surface Duo, like I said, is very much geared towards professionals, towards the enterprise sector. They're trying to compete in kind of a new modern sector where the BlackBerry might have been before. Think about business professionals, engineers, architects, doctors, lawyers, different types of people that have to carry around a laptop or a tablet or a phone and a tablet and a laptop. There's a business world where people have to carry these things all the time. So this isn't something that you're really looking at for your kid. It's not really something that even I, working from home now, would really seriously consider looking at. I'm thinking about getting one just to play with it and test it out and see how good it actually is at multitasking, because Hey, I like that stuff. You've seen my channel before. I love BlackBerries. I like productivity. This to me is a very intriguing and interesting device because I think that it brings a lot to the table, especially with that hinge design. And you can fold it, you can set it at different angles, you can use the bottom part as a keyboard, you can use the Microsoft S Pen. There's a lot of really cool things that go into it. Hardware-wise, though, you're not getting 5G. You're not getting a high-speed refresh rate. So a normal 60 hertz refresh rate, no 120. You're getting the two displays, which are fine. It's a fairly large phone, but at the same point in time, I think that it should be fairly manageable. But here's the thing. You can only use it when it's open. There's nothing on the outside. It just looks fancy and has a Microsoft logo. So this is something that tells you, like I said, right up front, this is very much designed for productivity, for business. It's not like the Fold where there's a screen on the outside where you can basically use it as a fully functional phone without having to open the screen. That is kind of nice. But going back to the Fold, it has a Snapdragon 855 in it, which is last year's flagship processor. Actually, they had the 855 Plus that came out later on in the year. Talking about processors, so the Snapdragon 855 in the Surface Duo, it is 30% slower than the Snapdragon 865 Plus that is in the Fold 2. So if you look at the Surface Pro, you look at the Fold 30% more powerful processor, 30% more powerful graphics processor in it. So you're going to be able to have a little bit snappier performance. You're going to have better performance when it comes to games and things like that. But yes, the Microsoft Surface Duo is capable of playing games. And the 855 is no slouch. And I think it's actually more power efficient than you get with the Snapdragon 865. And you're going to need every bit of it because the Microsoft Surface Duo only has about a 3600 milliamp battery to power two screens, which is a little on the low side in my opinion. But, however, the Surface Duo is a completely different animal. So if you're looking for something that's geared towards work, towards productivity, towards being able to ditch your actual Microsoft Surface and just take the Surface Duo, or ditch your phone and ditch your laptop, this is kind of a all-in-one that gives you the flexibility of essentially having all the fully integrated Microsoft app support and built into the phone from the ground up, so you can do basically all your work stuff on the go, but you're not tethered to a wall, you're not tethered to a tablet, you're not tethered to a laptop or a Surface or all those other things. It's kind of a one-stop shop that lets you do everything, and I really dig that. But at $1,400 or $1,500, depending on which version you get, $13.99, $14.99, there are some trade-offs because you're getting essentially last year's hardware. You're not getting wireless charging. There's no IP certification. There's just a lot of things that are not there when you go to check the boxes for something I would expect to be that expensive. But talking about it again, really geared towards professionals, productivity, multitasking, and the enterprise world. With the secondary sales point, of course, consumers can use it. You have the fully developed Android operating system. You have the Play Store. You can get all your games and apps and all that cool stuff. So it is a multi-faceted device that you can use for work and for play, but it's primarily for work, which I'm okay with. Now, taking a look at the Galaxy Z Fold 2. Yes, they changed the name from the Fold to the Z Fold 2. They want to use that Z moniker so you know that it's a special folding device. So they have the Z Flip, then they also have the Fold, so they've brought it all underneath that Z label. You're getting everything with the Z Fold 2. You're getting the latest and greatest processor, the Snapdragon 865 Plus, which is crazy fast. You're getting 12 gigabytes of RAM. You're getting the two screens where you have the folding display on the inside, or the folding screen where it actually bends and folds like the Z Flip and the original Fold, but you also get a fully functional screen on the outside, which is much larger and basically bezel-less as compared to the original Fold. That's one thing that really kind of killed the Fold for me. You have to open it up all the time, and that's something you're going to have to live with if you decide you want to go with the Surface Duo route. You always have to open it to use it. One nice thing about the Fold is it has that smaller screen on the outside, but now that smaller screen, instead of being about 4.6, 4.7 inches, is going to be about 6.2 inches, and it's going to have a peephole cutout camera on the front, which is 10 megapixels, and you can use it as a fully functional phone. 6-inch screen on the front, and then you have the big folding up, the big display on the inside. which is like 7.6 inches, which is bigger than last year's. So you have a lot of things going on there. You're going to have wireless charging. There's no IP protection, of course, because it's a foldable phone. It's got a folding screen. You're not going to be able to make this thing waterproof. Don't take it near the water. Don't take either of these phones near the water. As a matter of fact, don't take any phone near the water. So 12 gigabytes of RAM. You're talking about 256 gigabytes of storage, I believe. Last year's model had 512. I'm not sure with the exact storage on this one, but stuff I was reading said 256. It's going to have 5G, which is going to give you the latest and greatest in connectivity. You're going to have the 120 hertz refresh rate on the inside. You're going to have 3 cameras on the back. 3 12 megapixel cameras from what I've read. If they change that from whenever it comes out tomorrow with the official release, that's another thing. But it looks like so far it's going to be 3 12 megapixel cameras on the back. You'll get a telephoto, a wide angle, and you're going to get a primary shooter. So you're going to get a really good set of cameras as opposed to, like we talked about the Duo, you have the one camera which is 11 megapixels on the inside, which you have to open the device up to use. So this Z Fold 2 is in a completely different category. This is designed to be like the end-all be-all, latest and greatest device. They threw everything, including the kitchen sink in there, higher refresh rate. You got a big battery, which is about 4,500 milliamps, which I have concerns about because I've been using the Snapdragon 865 Plus in my Z Flip and also in my Note 20 Ultra. It really guzzles the power, especially with 5G and all that other good stuff. The 120 hertz display. Yeah, it's going to really eat into your battery. So hopefully it lasts all day. We'll see. Whole nother conversation. But it's got everything. And it's a magnificent looking device. It'll come in Mystic Bronze. It'll come in black. And it really makes a statement. It really stands out. But it also makes a dent in your wallet because it's going to be about $2,000. They're saying it might come in a little bit cheaper than last year's model. We'll find out the official pricing tomorrow. But what you can hang your hat on is after taxes, it's going to be $2,000. So Microsoft Surface Duo, $1,400. Z Fold 2, $2,000. $600 price gap there between the two phones. But if you look at what you're getting with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2, it definitely makes up for that with the stuff that it includes for that price point. So the original Fold had everything that it had to offer. In fact, it has last year's processor in the 855, which is the same as you're going to get in the Duo this year. So the Duo is basically last year's specs that comes out this year, and the real allure, the real drawing point that sucks people into that is what you're going to get from a productivity scale, especially with the Microsoft Surface Pen. If the Galaxy Z Fold 2 had stylus support, that would make it compete a lot more directly. But the whole point of the story here is the Duo is really geared and designed to be a productivity device first, a professional device first, a mobility device first, and then a consumer device second. The Z Fold 2 is whatever you want it to be from the ground up. Party in the front, party on the inside, cameras everywhere, wireless charging, 120 hertz display rate, the latest and greatest for gaming. You can get all the productivity apps on there because, of course, you can download them from Android. So you can use it very much as a business device, but you can also use it for everything else. You can do your social media, you can play your games, you can just sit there and use it like a tablet because it has a huge screen on it. And then also you get the wonderful benefit of just pulling it out of your pocket, and you can use the front screen, and they even made it a couple millimeters thinner than last year's Fold, which it's a hefty boy. So the one nice thing about the Duo, though, is it's actually pretty darn thin. I mean, it's thinner than the Note 20 Ultra when it's collapsed, when it's closed with both screens folded in. So I'm really impressed by what they've been able to do with it hardware-wise. It's super thin. It's really nice and sharp looking, and I think it's going to be a great productivity device. But from a tech geek perspective, not looking at it from the productivity perspective that a business person would, I am a little disappointed with the specs and the fact that there's no camera on the outside and a couple other business decisions that went into it. But I think that it's going to serve a great purpose. I think it's going to make a lot of people happy, and it's a good first start at a productivity mobility device from Microsoft. So again, kind of hanging the hat on that new modern BlackBerry thing, I think that it checks a lot of boxes for some people. Whereas the Z Fold 2 is much more marketed at a wider audience. It's very much in line with what Samsung does. They make big, they make better, they make awesome, they make good things, but they charge you a lot of money for it. So you'll get everything that you want, but it's going to be at a price. Again, about $2,000 after tax. So today is the 31st of August. We have the Samsung Unpacked Part 2 event with the Z Fold 2, specifically tomorrow on September 1st. You will find out more about it then. And of course, we already know what we're getting with the Microsoft Surface Duo, which is going to come out on September the 9th, which starts shipping then. So really exciting times. I'm very much interested in both of these devices, but I kind of wanted to give my thoughts and my perspective and break this down for people, and especially my audience, who may be interested in it. Because yes, at first glance, you think that they're kind of on par. I mean, folding phone. One's by Microsoft, it's running Android. One's by Samsung, it's running Android. But for lack of better terminology, the devil is in the details. You got to look at it, talk about what's going on, the purpose of each one of them, and also look at what they offer, because the feature set is completely different on both of them, and so is the price point. So that's all I've got on this video, talking about the Surface Duo and also the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. Hopefully this has given you some information that you've been looking for. If you're on the fence talking about or thinking about which one of these might be for you, or if you're interested in either of them, or if you're just curious about the two phones, because hey, tech is cool and some people just like to be up to date on the latest and greatest. So that's all I've got, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comments section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. As always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.